Yenuaba Patricia Asidwa Nidia and Nipapi Dinimo friend of Agradaa. In my last week Thursday, Accra Circuit Court sentenced him to 15 years in prison. Yenuano court say the sentence it comes with hard labor into uncle in some female prison. Now uncle share sa akwanto yase. Yenamo ka say your checks say would need and someone female prison. Into Yenuaba and Awafa. Yes, sentencing on Thursday. There are a lot of administrative procedures. Court no Unfortunately, Friday was a holiday. She couldn't have been taken to prison because administrative procedures no way won't mean for court. There's so many BBI warrants and that kind of thing. It's a bit bureaucratic. And Friday was a holiday. Into probably and now I'm sure say a year bano almost never cop. Na so yadi eni akoko say ampa wababedu. Into for now no I would say all these speculative stories about obia assaulted in prison no should be dismissed with a vicious wave of the left hand. The real aspects of pain, a lot of scholars are true about your scholars be true book be titled The Pains of Imprisonment. Pain, they are so psychological. The business and Agradaa won't be there. The videos are all sounds dressed come now all of a sudden you've been pushed into a space. Let's forget about say whole time. Say home put to say hotel. The confines, the walls, the tall walls. Ure video area. And na die gugu so. Na wa we na Agradaa wo de wo ho. Na ene ye chiro time ada 4:30. It's a soda area. Wait, oh God. And no that torture. And no enema imprisonment. Yeah. I
mean, leaving businesses behind. So about 5 years with John Hawk prison in the
prison. Yeah. And this is a huge figure coming into the prison. Yes, you're contemplating that we may have to perhaps visit her, obviously. And the record. And easy, and I think psychologically when inmates are being admitted into the prison, your officers are mere mandated. So if you look at the weight of the sentence, officers are not very advised. So now what to expect whilst coming into the prison.
Crime in itself as a disease. So we try to accustom the person to the prison, welcome you to the prison, tell you what you should expect in there, and then we try to guide you. It's like a guidance center. So we guide you, then we counsel you, so that at least you'll be able to cushion whatever you're going to expect in there. Somebody's coming for 30 years. And what do you expect? So we need to let the person go through that customized system, so that the person, when he goes there, he can be well prepared for the journey ahead.
Crime Check TV. They all give you nonsense, produce things, everything good is available there. Crime Check, watch there, you will never perish.
Hi, my name is Natalie, talking from London, Brixton. Keep watching Crime Check TV.
I tell from Amina Kwaba, I'm saying Crime Check Foundation, the name nipa dodoa to ensase e free ho na san mu ho ye de bi betu dwa plus bebre na ye media fefe nkofofom ne nyina eno achi ye de bi ba biem ene asa ya san de bi aba ene e bia na wa nya ba ko ne bia ma ho nya ha na betu bi na ha ye ba bia ye fast developing asase no so ya besia nko a wo hwa ye wo su to breme nsu to den eso hwe se de hatie eya besia asase eya gravel sonko a enya waterlogged oto asase na nso na otwemiensa na o document aba o hwe bi dem documents a ene go ha bebre won ato bibia e dia danse obia nsaka the document aha land guard in ha inti ma honya ha na beje wodie na sesei asa sesem yina yini enne sei ochina sei nti wonya bi na manso ni ho na be ma wasomu atowa wa jenete me ne jesem biem ne se yaye kona modi no ho ama nti opa on to ball eno nya woka yem fan charge yaye amasasi bia every 2 plots bia there is a road into a well structured place into ma honya ha tie to so biem anwea bo nso enye den e wo ha sei yedim se de sei anwea bo tie ebinim double axle and over 3,000 cities aha ukita 1,600 ubenya bi enunti won wotasa so wa ha free ye hono omu si ni gidigidi if say usi edan wa ha ebo no ewo fom eye 20 plots per ti kan ho na beje wode na nsan yawo UAT fama mu nyina akwaba enne asema ye de bremo asemo a esi na so there is another dimension yenua ba Patricia asedo a ni din a ni papi di ni mo ye frɛ no Agradaa yenyina ne masema eto no last week Thursday Accra Circuit Court sentenced him to 15 years in prison. Ayare hosem iye. Yenua no court ka say the sentence no it comes with hard labor into onko in some female prison. Na onko share sa akwanto yase. Yene mo ka say ye checks chere say oni en some female prison. Inti yenua ba no ehe na wafa. Yentwe ehomra ne mehwehwe ba bia yenua ba no. Owo UAT for yamamu nyina akwaba tap send se watia eye kwan tietia a ye fa so send sika free amanone eba Ghana manimo se wo Europe se wo UK se wo Canada uni how kra ko App Store ho ana Play Store ho na download tap send app no wo download pe obebisa wo promo code obisa wo pe eno an se wabahye ho crime check se de mo hwe ya crime check ho ne ho a wo Europe ubenya €5 wo Canada US ubenya $10 so wo UK ubenya £5 na wo mpe we na wo pedien na tie ni jeseme ye tap send do send sika no a eye free of charge ente se de keka ho ne bi wo ha ubetua charge no na sika no ebetima beto o mobile money wallet ana se o bank account mo na wo mpe we edien biem na wo pe tap send eye easy eye fast eye secure tap send papa no Rudolph we did this nyame adom as if we nim say crime check ye new officer ye wo no ufri ha koyi nu aba Agradaa afia it's just about a minute walk na wadu intim prepi no utwam bia ye ho no okoba nyina ye ho no yene no ene wo area ha enunti ena asama ato no hayen de nti esan haye biem se oyobi nso a or respecting papa ohu the way a obebu ne mu ase achiawo we share me prebebre oh yase ha ebi ha na oba beto provisions or my late wife shop ho ebi on so a shop bi eto aso oba be ye ne nails utimi ho se oyobi a contrary to the way people project her as very violent no many ade no when you know that personally you know who say she may not be the person people project say oh yeah no and I'm sure say once we want to be brave around as I told no but two things just as I said in the intro only and some female prison and secondly we will look at whether sentence na demand and whether it was excessive or outrageous. Even combine the two adjectives. Maybe say it was excessive, maybe say it was outrageous. Say too much for the crimes she committed. Advertising charlatanic is a materials or something, and defrauding by false pretenses. Actually, I call a lawyer George Shaw. Okay. Na yakwa interpretation as to whether the sentence was too much. But let's come back to you, Rudolph. Yes, sister, no. We need someone, female prison. I'm say we share commentary on social media. It is alleged Okoye no, Obia Okodupo no, allegedly, our prison hono. one na koye ntokwa and nipa na abro no ama yenu aba no kwa nanim aso find that message a bit troubling. Say mete every mona one lady one friend is a mona Gucci also the way you paint a picture no I was wondering say Ubia aka 6 months. O paint picture perfectly. Na we PA free prison. Na we hu Agradaa. Na Agradaa allegedly I defraud no. Na 6 months pen na obi PA no dey akoye ntokwa. It comes with consequences and I'm not sure say any right thinking person would want to do that. Na me wan kakra. If say na me my checks. Say last week before say be convicting your call crime check kokon project e person e boa. And some female for na wouldn't say prison penny for minimum it didn't come out. And this is a huge figure coming into the prison. Yes, you're contemplating that we may have to perhaps visit her, obviously. And chichire the rekakra. And easy, you know. And I think psychologically, when inmates are being admitted into the prison, your officers are mere mandated. So if you look at the weight of the sentence, officers no bad advice so na what to expect whilst coming into the prison. Every video it tells us what you will be taken through, especially when the sentence is huge. And yes, I want to na urema wakonom edro every video nwe.
Crime in itself as a disease, so we try to one, accustom the person to the prison, welcome you to the prison, tell you what you should expect in there, and then we try to guide you. It's like a guidance center. So we guide you, then we counsel you, so that at least you'll be able to cushion whatever you're going to expect in there. Somebody's coming for 30 years. And what do you expect? So we need to let the person go through that customized system, so that the person, when he goes there, he can be well prepared for the journey ahead.
It will have video, it should tell you about the gravity of the psychological torture that you are going to be predisposed to.
Exactly.
It be or kwakusha, especially when you live in flamboyance, in opulence. You have everything virtually. And then within a twinkle of an eye, you are being pushed into, your friend is saying, a deplorable space. Baby, a time, baby, you know, a idea, a hard dream. But I think that within some female crime put there, is more of a home because the inmate population, adults 100. I said, banana mama brand birthday, and I've visited that facility over 100 times. And a honor, say prison crowd who say a prison, you know. But I think that the about prison here, it's not much as we talk about physical problems, infrastructure, by being how difficult. That is not the only aspect of imprisonment. The real aspects of pain. A lot of scholars are true about your scholars be true book be titled The Pains of Imprisonment. Pain, they are so psychological. If you say na Agradaa won't be here. The videos are all sounds dress come. Now, all of a sudden, you've been pushed into a space. Let's forget about say how time. Say home put to say hotel. The confines, the walls, the tall walls. Video area. And na die gugu so. Na wa we na Agradaa wo de wo ho. Na ene ye chiro time ada 4:30. It's a soda area. Wait, oh God. And no that torture. And no enema imprisonment. Yeah. And you na be chere duane a obedi.
I mean, leaving businesses behind. Nkwala. So
absolutely.
About 5 years we Jano prison in the Sanyama.
Enema prison. Yeah. Intimate check stress uniho. Intasama o say friends
Mona Gucci.
I think that's a figment of her own imagination. And I think we should do better as a journalist, the media should do better. Propagating false information, I don't think is right.
Yes,
I don't think it's right.
I look around. Crawford be in prison. So there are rules and regulations binding even the prisoners there and even the officers. It is a officer or in charge of Agradaa, and I say or in charge of the other personnel. Yes, or sort Agradaa. Now it means the officer no one need to make.
You go to Asama Mona.
Okay.
Agradaa could do prison no. Wakwakoto obi wo ho a oscam no with sikagari. And now apparently the person was also sentenced to prison because obi man ni sika so fanya de no di sika ne bre na Agradaa se onye sikagari ma no. And then nsanka sika ni biom. And then nipa no so che no and then the court and he sentence or no. But according to what we heard allegedly assessment na maame no so you know na maame no ehu Agradaa no say you are the reason why I'm here. Now, according to Nipakra or the assembly to TikTok app, no so bo assistant no bo Agradaa no. Wabunama with 2 gold teeth na share no.
But just as I said, my checks indicate say you know about when you're sentencing on Thursday. There are a lot of administrative procedures. Court no. Unfortunately, Friday was a holiday. She couldn't have been taken to prison because administrative procedures no way won't mean court. There's a so maybe warrant and you know that kind of thing. It's a bit bureaucratic. And Friday was a holiday. Into probably and now I'm sure say a year bar no omode ne beko. Na yenso ye de ani akohu say ampa wababedu. Into for now no I would say all these speculative stories about Obiakwa assaulted in prison, should be dismissed with a vicious wave of the left hand. And we shouldn't entertain such things. Because there's other outlets and so pick it. You know, it paints a different picture about
the prison officer system.
It paints a picture of lack of security. It paints a picture of another Agradaa in a warlike fashion. It paints a picture of indiscipline in their prisons. But here in some female, one of the disciplined institutions, you know, it hardly you know happens. We can confirm. I say our sister is not yet
in prison.
And then someone female prison. So what can be it?
Means that they say Agradaa what confirmation which means Agradaa share officially the sentence na say.
No.
Yes. Until say the ne coin there now officially what shall say.
Absolutely.
Yes. Until Crawford Castle wakodru on ya bono ne sade no force.
Now let's look at the sentence. You know, it be say excessive. It be say outrageous. There's a lot of commentary on the matter. Young lawyer George Shaw, Menene Kopi or City TV, Mra Atai accomplice court a discharged for lack of evidence. Inti watching as to whether the sentence was excessive or not. For young Kuti. Hello, lawyer.
Hello.
Good morning. Eti saying. A lot of people are saying the sentence is excessive. Even say it is outrageous because 15 years for the crimes she committed. Do you think say too much?
It's too much. It's too much.
Lawyer, I didn't think it's too much.
I mean, first of all, she's a first offender.
She's not a first-time offender. I think it's about 2-3 years ago. She was convicted to a fine. So she's not a first-time offender. So with this information, what do you have to say about the conviction?
Friends, the defrauding, no. And the sentence is within the range, the acceptable range. Now, I think I don't know what might have gone into it in terms of, because there are things like aggravating factors.
Okay. When
they are sentencing.
Okay.
It's because if they use that tangent, then it will not be excessive because.
Okay.
Yes, when I say, there's something called breach of trust, which the law takes very seriously. For people in responsible positions like pastors, teachers, and which people have their trust in for a whole lot of reasons, and in this case, because of faith and religion. Now,
okay.
If you have that opportunity and then you abuse it. The court can aggravate the sentence, that is, give you more than what an ordinary person will receive.
So are we talking about discretion in this case? But just a quick one. Mami ready a
yes, discretion. Well, in a way, discretion, but more or less mandatory, because if you are a breach of trust, me no committee the same offense, na me position of trust, you better me more than you.
Isn't this a bit problematic in the sense, as now we are trying to sort of rate others above others? That is why I'm asking, say, is it a matter? Is it an issue of discretion? Because it is also believed some judges abuse their power of discretion.
I know it happens all the time. Because it's a discretionary power all across board. Every day is being different and abused. But as long as you can point factors as to why the discretion has been abused, the law will entertain it. Because there are a lot of areas. But in terms of breach of trust, I know a global practice. Say I say Akwala, every day we back to school, not teacher. I have sex with the child. Most of the time, because of positions of authority, the channel can through on person now.
Right. Let's look at two things. Let's look at two things. Others think the media may have tried Agradaa even before her conviction. The perception of negativity associated with the things that she does. Oh, mommy, we want to say, mommy, or Jinko Fusika, mommy, we, and somebody who are factual, and somebody who cannot be established. But the media had long tried her. Do you think that these perceptions may have gone into her sentencing?
Definitely. I won't say, because the judge will tell you that he or she is not influenced by outside influences like the press. But I can tell you for a fact, from my own experience of the criminal justice system in Ghana, since I'm here with you, the press, they try in the media. A personal case I made there some years back, which is something about Major Mahama and then the assemblyman was convicted merely because the jury believed what the press was saying about him, even though the evidence was contrary to it. Which I appeal with that is coming on that day. Yes, in England, in places like that, England say, travel to me, Ahmad, stop a trial. If you can prove that the person has been tried in the media.
Absolutely, that's fine. Let's look at another angle. Another substantive issue: defrauding by false pretenses. We know, I'm not a lawyer, but we know, spiritual matters, you can't prove them in court. Now, Nana Agradaa has made her intentions clear. Also, a software, she sees beyond, what we see. She sees beyond the cosmos, for want of a better expression. And I will say, obetimi adobuska spiritually, because our powers obetimi. Aye sad and I say what they say ba whatever it is.
Yeah.
She didn't force anyone.
Right.
So the power of choice, rested with one more or more atiasemono. You can decide to go or not to go. This is completely different from say ubi ekueso in a way. Say chinchina, because in Crawford, sorry, more can say is it offertory or whatever you call it. Omo bar for it. Because Ubua had the software became touchina no yisika. This is purely spiritual or an interconnection between the spiritual and the physical. And no one dictates what one should do. And if you are touched, you dole out the money. I want you to look at this within the context of what has happened to Agradaa, a pastor.
Except that my carrying now is correct. Except that defrauding by false pretenses, one of the main determining factors is that you state something that you know is false. So my baba wanna say, a friend say, woman say I'm the way better.
Okay.
But me no meaning say me means I didn't my. And so my what JD. It will depend. It's very, very in the spiritual sense, it's very difficult. In ordinary sense, for us to be, I could like say, from Abraham, and I met up blah blah. I know it's easy to convey.
Okay.
But anybody also for not spiritual one. Agradaa, only a good lawyer can fight say, no, what she stated that she was going to do, she believed in it, and it wasn't a lie.
So you think the lawyer may not have helped her, and that she could have, your friend is saying, she could have skipped this unfortunate Asema Atuna in Denakwe prison. Was it possible for her to have skipped this if she had a good lawyer?
Yeah, if we had been argued forcefully that she's a friend also, and she really believed, she wasn't lying that when she said she was going, she believed that she can double the money.
Though you and I know that it's difficult to double the money.
Yes, but it's a question of then, as the law says, if you are going by the sheer elements of the law, you see, when someone gives you a fact, when the person know at the time of making that statement that what he or she was saying was false, that is why it becomes different.
Right. Let's look at another issue. My checks at the Nsawam female prison. Agradaa was sentenced on Thursday, last week Thursday. My checks at Nsawam female, as we speak, is that she is not yet in custody at the Nsawam female prison. Could it be, sir? She was sent, just as I said, she was sentenced on Thursday. And there are definitely, when you are sentenced, there are administrative things, certain administrative that ought to be done. Friday was a holiday. Could these be the reasons why she's not yet in custody at the Nsawam female prison?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe the moment they process it, documents quickly enough. I didn't say Friday or Saturdays will be a Nyedma. Sundays will be a Nyedma. It's in there and it's not.
Right. Lawyer, I would want to thank you very much. You are saying for lawyer George Shaw, and Ekasai, George Shaw, a lawyer, Atayi, a case partner, saying court establishes a far chrono and normal basabasa see ye jailing, I think over 20 years or so. Court a jano or no, and I'm also and Atayi accomplice and when you know home atite. Na MCA na yakuti explanation I would my about one, Agradaa not in custody, and two, whether her sentence was outrageous or not. After listening to the lawyer, say, we're making things clear. As if it is within the law, the sentence was within the law, it's fine. But he feels discretionary power was over-exercised. And 15 years may be too much. Your take on that?
Well, from Ononoka about law as a lawyer, he's speaking like that. But we should also think about Nkrofo near Nkrofo fa emu ewa Agradaa nsem. So be the go that corner. Well, omoneka so then go to koy am Agradaa koje, and those things will be at on nebusi Japade no dey akọ. So ABI it could be greed, but they are caught.
Yeah, but I think that matter is not in court. Asema a court. And I'm sorry, I'm jailing you about 15 years. I say me see one in church hall. And no, and not only the court. But as to where that's why Joe be good and that's why Joe be good. We don't know. It is being alleged. And as a media organization, no, yeah, because we have to be very circumspect. That is why you have to pre-modify most of the things you say with allegedly and so on and so forth. Said about Ochanko will be court because you will never know. I think in this country, you're speaking loosely. Once someone says something, we quickly jump on the bandwagon. Now, without a recourse to the facts. Yeah, entire idea as to and some CCC in Mami Agradaa absence. I think we were told there was some sort of disturbances. So the fear, Ninu tries all the local, the fear, Ninu out to disprove those allegations. We hope whatever she may be going through, some Funsubin Waya, or call or status are going to win. Maybe who not waiting assessor. And as a waiting as a crass or and so be a nipper be a home for so. And we pray so back out strongly. I believe that she will come out strongly. I believe that maybe Nyame Suman or for a reason. I'm not wakusian the kakra. Now upia enipa enyan home for so. There are a lot of people who are condemned in the Bible as never do wells. But eventually God showed mercy on them. Inti ayana ubi asem na abane na ubi ani age onso unim da wo de beba inti no much as we are not condoning wrongdoing, we are not, we should also know say any pebi ayem fonso. That is why we say the prison is everybody's potential second home. Bibia betimi do alcohol, but upie ba hona asem no. Many young men omupie ba they reoffend. Almost like we have local prison. I say it all the time. About 35% of the prison population, because I come into if you stigma, you point and sour also. But I don't think that will happen in the case of Nana Agradaa. I don't want us to put the cameras on her house. It's for purposes of privacy. But all would you be? Into no koba and Nana Agradaa you will be offered idea. So if you prison but or the stigma be better There's some issue where there are 10 issues now around. And I hope just as I said, whatever happens, bibi. The prison is a learning center. You can say proper reformation and rehabilitation centers and proper correctional facilities are government should retool and re-equip the prison so that when people come in, they can learn and come out as better individuals. And yes, it will be a condemnation. You're jailing, and you're sentencing to imprisonment. Obeko prison, no one more. It defeats the purpose of reformation, rehabilitation. Hope say almost all believe say why all body. I think say almost so come better me, but they will think say they will also believe that justice has been served. And that is the essence of criminal justice. When you are hurt, you have the channel or the the avenue to seek redress. Na akamo down. Na the ono so komuno, ono so enkusuan baby. No ba outer society enya ne ho emfaso. So final words.
Yes, I'm say there is another Eyibia and Crawford speculations being around say Nana Agradaa is going to serve only 5 years in prison, which means man 15 years, and each count here 5 years, which adds to up to the 15 years. But according to reports you're reading, Nana Agradaa was charged. The charges here too about charlatanic advertisement, and the other one is defrauding by false pretenses. So for the advertisement, you impose 25 penalty units on her,
which is how
300 Ghana cedis, and in default of payment, best 30 days imprisonment. Now on the second, I know they will be to meet you 300 cedis until end of the year free. But on the second charge, defrauding by false pretenses, and there are 2 counts of that. There are 2 counts of the defrauding by false pretenses, and she was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment on each count of the defrauding by false pretenses, which is to run concurrently.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Once it runs concurrently, it doesn't mean it's a 15 or 30.
30, yes.
It's a misplaced.
Yes,
so in order not to even waste time on that, 15 years.
Yeah, in 5 years.
But you know, say, on 15 years, in prison, 15 years, just about 11 years. Yeah. Ultimately, appeal, considerably based on the merits of the appeal. Yeah. And I understand the lawyers say mobile appeal. So let's see how it goes. Tete for her, na yedi ejumedi ebesi on na Agradaa yenu aba yenenete ahase enne asemiya ya atono. We wish her well, and we hope that whatever she goes to learn, she comes out as a better person. Nama society enya no home for so. Yeah.